Hi Shrestha, am I audible? I'm not using an earphone. Do I have to use one or am I audible? Not as much. Hold on.
Is it better now? Okay. All right. Hi, Ananya. Thank you. Yeah, but that angle way, if I'm using an earphone, it's not gonna work. Let me see. Hold on. Maybe like this. This is something. Is this fine? Is this okay? Maybe this is the only angle that I can manage today. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. Let's just wait for a couple of more people to join. Maybe we'll just start for at about 8:05, like 1 minute from now. Hi, Snigdha. Thank you for joining. So let's just wait for one more minute and then we shall start. I might not be at the best of my health today, so please bear with me if I don't appear extremely energetic today. New headphone looking too good. Yeah, it's pink. See, pink, pink. I'm using a new earphone on when I'm using a new laptop, everything new. Right. So I think we can start with our session today. And as I said, that I might not be at the best of my energy levels today, owing to the second dose that I had yesterday. But yes, this was a scheduled live, and I know that there is something that I always follow. I don't go back on commitments. So keeping that in mind, today we have something called choice theory, and choice theory is also very relevant for today because it was also my choice to come in today's life. So choice theory is all about William Glasser's theory, and it is very important to understand that how do we make choices in our life, what is the basis of all the choices, and what are the 10 principles based on which we make certain choices. You don't need to get energy, we'll get energy while watching you. Thank you, Shrestha. So choice theory is this is a theory that was formulated by William Glasser. Now, William Glasser was a psychologist, and he came up with how people. He is based on the reality therapy. Reality therapy is a type of therapy which makes changes in somebody's life based on practical approaches or how things are, rather than trying to think of how things can be. So it's a type of therapy. Now, this reality therapy is based on the concept of choice theory. What is this choice theory? According to the choice theory, William Glasser believed every individual that is there on this planet, each of them have the capability to make changes in their own life and have very little control over others' life. This is the basis of choice theory, that we have the power to control our own life, but we have very less power to control somebody else's life. And that's why, if that is the basis of my theory, this is the hypothesis of my theory, that I have only power to control my life and not somebody else's life, which means that I will not put my head and heart and anything, my energy, to control or create changes in how somebody else would behave, because that is not going to happen. That is that person's choice. The only person whom I can control is myself, and that is it. I cannot control anybody else. And the only person, the only choices that I can make in my life is through my actions. Like, let's say, for example, I'll just give an example of, hi Chandrani, thank you for joining. So let's say Shrestha and I'm just taking her name because it's the safest example I can take. So let's say Shrestha and if I know that she is doing something incorrect, I can give her, or I can tell her that whether she will apply it or not is her choice. Whether she will do it or not is her choice. But if I spend the rest of my day banging my head, why is she not listening to me, why she is not making the changes, and that is impacting my life, then that is a problem. And most of the time that is actually a problem in our life. We are trying, instead of trying to create changes in our life, we are trying to create changes in others' life. That's where the problem starts. But the basis of choice theory is, we have the power to control our life and very less power to control somebody else's life. That's the basis of choice theory. Now, the next thing that is important to understand is that we have to take responsibility of our life only. We do not have to take responsibility of somebody else's life. Now, why is that important? Because if we are taking responsibility of somebody else's life, then we have only 25% of the responsibility, because 75% is the action, and that actions will be taken only by that person. You cannot actually force somebody to take actions on your behalf. So, but in case of your life, you will be able to take responsibility and create certain changes. For example, I as a therapist, if I am telling certain people, let's say all three of you who had been my patient or are my patient at some point of time, so if I am telling you to do something, with the intention that these are the things that's going to help you. Now, whether you will do it or not, that's your call. I'm not going to force force you to do those changes, because I don't have that control over your life. But if I start trying to control your life, you will I'm pushing you away from me, because nobody likes to feel controlled. People like to be given the choices to take that decision. So, like, I have A and B, I should have the liberty to choose amongst A and B. Even though I know that A is good and B is bad, still I need both the options. Is it like someone is trying to make control of others' life? Mane je force korbe arki. Yes. So basically, সেটাই আমি বলছিলাম. So basically it is like people like choices. If nobody likes to be controlled, these are the principles behind choice theory. Nobody likes to be controlled. Everybody likes to be given choices, that you want this or you want that. Yes, how you present the choice to somebody else is very important. For example, I know meditation is going to work. I know certain kind of meditation is going to work for, let's say, Ananya. This time I'm taking the example of Ananya. So let's say certain kind of meditation is going to work for Ananya, and I'll tell Ananya, this is how it's going to work. These are the things that you can do. And if you don't do, these are the things which will be missing. But if I give this kind of examples to Ananya, now it is Ananya's choice to decide whether I would do that thing or not. It is not my choice. Because I cannot, এটা কি বাচ্চাদের ক্ষেত্রে করেছিল example my daughter, right? Yes, every person is driven by choices. Even when you are telling the child, I'll come to that example. I was just talking about Ananya first. So let's say if I'm telling Ananya that these are the two choices that you have, you choose either A or B. If you choose A, these are the things you get. If you choose B, these are the things you get. And then work is done. Whether Ananya would do it or not, that is Ananya's choice. Because just because I cannot control somebody's life, and the day when we start believing or feeling that everybody is driven by choices, and we can only pass on information to people. We cannot control somebody else's life. We cannot, force somebody to take certain decisions. Our life becomes very easy. We can only pass information. When it comes to children, as Snigdha is asking, so let's say many parents do this. खाना खा लो फिर टीवी देखने को मिलेगा. I have seen many parents do this. That first you have this food, then you can watch cartoon. So for the kid, what am I forming? For the kid, I'm forming that okay, if I have the food, then I go and watch the cartoon. So the benefits of having the food is watching the cartoon. So there is a wrong association that is creating. But at that point, the child will go and have the food. But the association is incorrect. And later on, when the child grows up, at that time, when the child becomes addicted to cell phones or television, that time, when you ask the child that why are you continuously addicted to television, you are the one who created this addiction for the child. While you are feeding the child, you are making the child, see the what you call the tablet or phone or something like that. That's incorrect. So when you are trying to create or pass information to help the person with certain choices, it is extremely important to tell the person that, or create good association, that if you choose this, this is what you get. If you don't choose it, this is what you get. But good association, not incorrect association. And why? Because later on it's going to create problem. So for example, I remember there were two kids. I was in college. My nephew and my cousin brother's nephew, both were kept with me. They said that both the mothers were going for shopping, and they left them with me. Said that you can handle them. I said okay, I will do that. I love kids, so I will do that. Now these kids were what should I say? These kids were extremely addicted to television when they are eating food. So when the time came that they have to eat something, they were constantly asking. They were not TV chalao, Mashi TV chalao, TV chalao, TV chalao. This was the thing, and I said that okay, this is really good. Yeah. So when you're constantly asking for TV chalao, then I thought that maybe that is the association they created, that when they have food, they can watch TV. And if I don't switch on the TV, they will not have food. So what I said that, what if I do something else instead of television? And they said what? Because they were very young at that point of time. So I said that, okay, how about we play a game while we are having food? So they said, okay. So I started narrating a story to them, and then by about half an hour later, they didn't even understand, but the food was already over. That was one day I created that association. Next 2 days they were with me, and I created the same association. Fourth day, when these children were back to their original biological parents, they were not asking for television. They were asking for company of their parents. But that time the parents were unavailable, because for the parents this is a break time, like school break time. TV chala do and let them have their food. I can go and take a nap, or I can take a break at that point of time, or at least they will be glued while the time I can feed my child. And that again brought them back to the older association. That's how we create choices. That's how we do something. If I like to do something, if I get good return in terms of choosing some option, I will do that. If I get a bad return, let's say I touch something, I get electric shock, I will of course not touch that point anymore. This is called association or conditioning. And that's how we create, that's how we create choices. That's how we create associations, and that's how we decide whether I will choose this or that. So if you have seen that somebody has given you good advice before and that has helped in your life, in your bad times you are more likely to go to that person, because that has worked for you. So, and if that person's advice did not work for you before, so in your bad time you will not even consider that person. So that's how you are, every point of your time, you're constantly making choices, you're constantly deciding something, and every decision is a choice, right? Whether you want to stay single, whether you are married, whether you are a single mother, whether you are working, whether you are not working, whether you are following your passion, everything is choice driven. Everything in this world is driven by choice. Beside every decision there is a choice. What kind of food you are going to have tonight is also a choice. Sometimes most of the choices are taken or are chose at a subconscious level, not even at a conscious level. So because it forms a habit, it is kind of a habit. at certain point of time our brain goes into an automatic pattern of making certain choices in our life. At that time, no matter how much the person says, the person is constantly in that loop. So you have to break the loop. Most of the people who are suffering from depression, they are in the choice of being depressed. For that's a path-breaking research that has been found. They have the choice because they choose to. It's not that they like the feeling, but it is like they have now sometimes they have chosen to cut themselves off from everybody, and now they are in the loop, and now they cannot break that loop. If they get some support at that time, if they can break the loop, the depression is over. They basically don't need antidepressant. They need somebody who will drive them towards better choices in their lives. So that is how the choice is taken care of. Now, whatever choice we make in our lives, it is driven by 5 needs. Okay, the first need is called the survival need. Any choice that we make is driven by 5 needs. The first is survival need. Of course, if it is about survival, then you would need or you would choose something that helps you in your survival or that's a part of your survival strategy. So survival. Second thing is love and belonging. So often, love and belonging, I can give an example because many of my choices are based on love and belonging and less of survival. It depends on what is in your priority list, whether it is survival, whether it's love, whether it's freedom, fun and power. These are the 5 choices, survival, love and belonging, freedom, fun, power. So whatever is your priority list, whatever is in your priority list, based on that you decide how you are making choices. For example, if for somebody whose survival need is the strongest, survival is the most important, they will always make choices like close the door, or do something like very control freaks, extremely OCD oriented people. They are extremely like close everything or do things like this, that so that their survival or they're protected, always feel protected. They are those kind of people. The second person is love and belonging, like people like me. If I feel loved, if I feel people like me, if I feel extremely cared for, I would stay with that person. I would choose that person over anything else in this world, no matter how badly the person would have treated me at that certain point of time. So based on what is your list in the priority. So first was survival, second is love and belonging, third is freedom, another which I resonate with. If the third choice is how important is freedom for you. For those for whom freedom is extremely important, those are the people who are likely to break away from any routine job, and they are likely to start their own ventures because they don't like to be told like how to be done or what needs to be done, how somebody will be controlling them. They don't like to be told. Similarly, they have problems adjusting with people. They like, okay, fine, thank you, bye. At the end of the day, please go back home, don't stay with me. That's freedom. They are like choice. So this kind of thing. Fourth is fun. Those who are fun oriented, they will make choices like going for a trip. They don't care much about COVID and all. They will like, अरे जी लेते हैं, मर जाएंगे तो मर जाएंगे, क्या होगा? I'm just giving an example, right? Fun are like partying and things like that because that's what matters to them. The next one is power. Somebody who likes to be in control, likes to feel powerful, they will make choices in their life where they do not lose the power in the situation. Now, why these 5 things are important? Now, if you just sit back for 2 minutes and think, you would see that many choices that you have made or you make in your daily lives are based on what is in your priority. Is it your survival? Is it the love and belonging? Is it freedom? It is fun or power? It is based on these 5 needs that we have. We make choices every time. For example, I can say that, let's say, I will not take names here because it's a live, but there is somebody here who is driven by freedom. There is someone here who is driven by love and belonging. At least 2 to 3 people are here who are driven by love and belonging. But there is one particular person who is driven by freedom, and I know that. And there is also one person who is driven by power. So I'm not going to take any names, but you need to understand these needs that we have, intrinsic needs, This needs is something which is built from the very childhood. It is not now. So as Snigdha was asking, should we do it for my child also, children also? Yes. So let's say food means cartoon fun. Let's say this is the association. So food is fun. Food is not fun. Food is a necessity. Food needs to be, we should take time to eat our food because that nutritious value needs to get into our body. People need to appreciate what they are eating. So the right association is very important from the childhood, so that the child, when they grow up, they know which needs are important for them, whether it's survival, whether it is love, whether it's freedom, fun or power. It's very important. The kind of environment in which I have been born and brought up, the kind of environment in which I stay, that kind of pushes or pinpoints the need that we are going to have in our life. Okay. Now, any choice that we make is actually driven by certain motivation. Now, what are these motivation? Mostly they are internal motivation, not external motivation. No matter how many times I tell somebody do this, they will not do this till the time they are motivated internally or they feel they should do it. So there will be many people who trusts me, but trusting me does not mean that the person has started doing all that thing from day one. No, it probably took them 3 months to start that thing. And I as a therapist, I'm aware of all those things, that internal motivation will lead you to make certain choices. For example, people who are stuck on someone, no matter how many times you tell them, they will not move on. It's not that they are stuck on somebody because they like the feeling of being stuck, but it is just that they are driven by love and belonging needs more than anything else. But the day when they are internally motivated, when they understand their love and belonging is actually becoming more like a paralysis rather than any need, that's the day they will make certain shifts in their choices. So that's how the choices are done. There is this whole concept of choice theory, Glasser's choice theory, which tells us what to do and how to do things. So every choice we make, whether it's good or bad, is driven by certain motivation. Food for me as a child was associated with family time, catching up, being grateful. Absolutely. In fact, food for me as a child was also associated with family time. Absolutely, yes, because all my family members used to work, and only during the dinner time we used to get everybody on the dinner table. So yes, for me it was family time, and till now that's why I cannot have food alone. I need people to be with me when I have food. I don't, it's okay if the television is off or anything, but I need a human presence. That's how I've been brought up. So that's the association I have. So whether it's good or bad, whatever choices we make, it is driven by internal motivation. Somebody who does not like to party, but today they will go and party because there was some motivation that they want to break free from certain things. Some people are actually making wrong choices in their life because they are probably motivated to break certain things that they are feeling like, it's kind of trapping them. People are making choices, incorrect choices in their life. They are choosing incorrect people in their life because at that time they feel this is the person. I have done it many times. This is the person. But then once you realize this is not the person, you have a choice whether to move out, whether to stay. And many people move out, many people stay, because the attachment, the need is more for them, the love and belonging. So it all depends on how strong, how powerful these needs are in a human being. That kind of decides whether I will be able to take certain decisions of choice or make certain choices in my life. So now I will quickly take you all through the 10 axioms of choice theory. What are the 10 principles of choice theory? The first principle is the only person whose behavior we can control is our own. Okay. The next thing is all we can give another person is information. Whether they will do it or not is their call. Alright. Third one, and this is my favorite. All long-lasting psychological issues are relationship issues. Okay. I think people will be laughing right now, but that is how it is. All long-lasting psychological issues are relationship issues. Next one, another very important thing. The problem relationship that we had in our life, that can be with anybody, that can be with your parents, with friends, with the partners, anybody. The problem relationship that you had in your life is still a part of your present life, and that is also impacting your choices. For example, if you had a very traumatic childhood, or if you had a very traumatic relationship or not a very good relationship with one of your parents, when you choose your partner, that has a direct impact on the kind of partner you would choose. First things first. Second thing is the kind of what should I say, if you have a traumatic love relationship, or if you have a bad breakup, so in that case, if next time when the person is approaching you, you're still operating from the previous breakup, you're not operating from the current relationship. So we are like always in the past or thinking about the future while messing up with the present, and that's how the choice theory is impacting us, right? So this was the fourth one. The fifth one, what happened in the past has everything to do with what we are today. Okay, but we can only satisfy our basic needs right now and plan to satisfy it in the future. So whatever happened in the past, that is the result of what we are today. We cannot just say that our past had been bad. No, whatever was there, because of that we are today what we are. But we can only think that we cannot change the past. The only thing we can change is either the present, or we can think of making a better future. All right. If I'm talking about satisfying our needs or how satisfied I feel, that is a direct relationship with what kind of image I have of the world in my head. Everything is happening here because everything is an illusion. What you think is reality is also an illusion. We are all projecting. It's like, we are watching a movie from a projector. So what is reality for you can be absolute bogus for me, or what is absolute reality for me, you might just feel this doesn't even exist in this world. So everybody's reality is different. So whether you will be satisfied or not depends on the picture of reality you have in your mind. And if you are satisfied here, and if your satisfaction matches with the picture of reality you have in your mind, you will feel extremely, satiated in your life. It has to match with the picture, which means if you're not feeling satiated, you might have to change the picture here also. You might have a very incorrect picture in your head of the reality. That might not be reality, right? All we do is behave. All we do, what people can see from each other is just behavior. That's it. Even making certain choices is also a kind of behavior. All behavior is total behavior, and it is made up of 4 things. So what are the 4 things? Acting, thinking, feeling, and physiology. Any kind of behavior is made of 4 things: acting, thinking, feeling, and physiology. All total behavior is a choice. It's chosen, and we have only control over our thinking components and acting components. The rest of the thing just happens. How we act and how we think, that's the only control we have. The rest of the thing will just happen. So these are the 10 principles of choice theory. So if you are next time questioning somebody's choice, or if you are questioning your own choice, it is very important to understand the 5 needs. Which need the person is operating from? Is the person operating from fun, freedom, power, survival, or love and belonging? Because these needs are something which basically drives somebody to make the different choices they have in their life. And it takes a lot for some people to make certain choices, or make certain decisions, because probably they might not have that confidence that they will be successful, which also means that their previous attempts of making choices was a failure. So you have to be a little calm with people. You also have to be very calm with yourself. And remember that change do not happen in one day. You just have to be very patient, and just realize that the only person who is in control is yourself. No matter how much you try to control somebody else, it's not going to work. you're just wasting your time and energy in trying to control yourself, control somebody else. You can just, this person is in your control. But if you're trying to control somebody else, you are not only hampering them, you're also hampering your own peace. Okay, so that's pretty much about the choice theory, and I hopefully you have been able to understand a little bit about the background of how we make certain choices in our life. And next time onwards, when you make decisions on a daily life or major decisions, just see from which need are we operating. It is very important, because if you satisfy the need, then your choices becomes more logical, more realistic. If the need is unsatisfied, you will continue to make wrong choices in your life. Okay, so I'll come back with another live on Saturday, not in our page, in some other page. We'll share the link for that. But till then, just think about the priorities or your needs that you have, and just operate from that, and see if you can satisfy those needs in a much healthier way, so that your choices are more logical from now on. You're most welcome, Shrestha, and thank you everybody for your time. Have a wonderful night ahead.